Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Will. Welcome to the 42nd episode of Sports Urban Legend TV. And on today's episode, I'm going to give you my brutally honest thoughts on the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. So, if you like this video, please feel free to like it, comment on it, subscribe, and just let your thoughts be heard. But before I get into this, my thoughts, let me remind you, this is spoilers. 100% spoilers. So if you haven't seen The Mandalorian, you haven't seen any of the episodes, especially the season finale of the Mandalorian season 2, do not watch this video. I repeat, if you have not seen the Mandalorian season 2 finale and you do not want to be spoiled, do not watch this video. Stop what you're doing right now. Go on Disney Plus, watch that episode, and then come back and listen to this video. With that said, this is 100% spoilers. You've been warned. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So basically, man, this whole season has been off the charts. Every episode leading up to the season finale has been phenomenal. The first season you had obviously the reveal of Boba Fett being revealed alive for the first time since Return of the Jedi after he was embarrassingly um, defeated by a blind Han Solo, on the sail barge, in Tatooine. And of course, he was swallowed by the Sarlacc creature for like so many years. So there was always rumors that he was alive. Obviously, in the Legend slash expanded universe, they've had stories how he survived. And, for years, fans have wanted him to be, alive in canon. So obviously, there were some hints in the first season, episode 5, when they went to Tatooine. Um, and they basically confirmed it on the first episode of season 5. So I mean season 2, I should. And then season 2, episode 2, to me they had the weakest episode by far. I mean, it was a good episode, but the same guy who directed the episode, Peyton Reed, I think his name is, he directed this season finale. So I'll go into that. Obviously, there was, they had the Bo-Katan reveal, they had the Ahsoka reveal. Um, I mean, all the episodes have been great. I mean, for the most part. To me, obviously, the weakest episode was the second episode. But it was still a good episode. But to the level of all those other episodes, it was basically filler. For the most part. But man, like all these episodes leading up, you got Ahsoka revealed um, as revealed by Bo-Katan that she's still around, and what a phenomenal season, man! Like top notch, all around. Boba Fett, confronts um, he confronted Mando when they went to Typhon. Forgive me if I mispronounced the planet's name, but that the old Jedi temple where Baby Yoda, he reached out to a Jedi, by the request of Ahsoka if he wants to go down the Jedi path, which obviously that was the episode when a chapter what the fifth chapter, because they don't go by episodes, as you all know, they go by chapters. So um basically Ahsoka was telling him to go to that planet so he could have his destiny reveal and he choose which path he wants to go to. So obviously once he went to that planet, it was like, man, there's no way they could never top this episode. And once you saw Slave One come in, you know what was going on. You knew Boba Fett was gonna be there for the most part. But fast forward to the, obviously in that episode, Baby Yoda, aka Grogu, got kidnapped. But led to this whole showdown between Moff Gideon and Mandalorian, because obviously he quoted the line that Moff Gideon gave him, in the season one when they first met, and I mean, it was just what a masterpiece, man. Let's just dive into this episode, man, just to give you a little back on that. What happened so far. So basically, um, after his ship got blown up by Moff Gideon, basically, he joined forces with Boba Fett and Fennec Shan. They were flying around in slave run to try to get back Grogu, and then basically he met up with Bo-Katan and Sasha Banks' character. I forgot her character's name for the moment, and Boba Fett was basically being confronted because of his questionable Mandalorian background, because he was a clone of Jango Fett, who was recanonized as a real Mandalorian. So he had a little beef with her and Sasha Banks' character, about whether he was really a Mandalorian or not. So then they joined forces to try to save Baby Grogu. Then you had the battle between Moff Gideon. Oh wait, actually he fought Mando fought the robot, the Dark Trooper first, and to me it was a great battle. The only thing that was missing is like they should have shown that the Beskar was more damaged in the face when the robot kept punching him in the face. I mean, you saw the wall around him was being caved in. I just felt like they should have showed more of a reveal of his Beskar helmet being removed a little bit, even though obviously the Beskar is like the adamantium or the vibranium of Star Wars. So it's a very strong metal. You know, the only thing that's I guess similar to it in Star Wars would be the lightsaber. How basically Beskar and the lightsaber could basically cut through anything, or it could resist anything. So when they had that battle, when Moff Gideon tricked them and said, "Hey, I got everything I wanted from him. You can go take them," stuff like that, and he foolishly turned his back on him, and then Moff Gideon started attacking him. They had that nice lightsaber slash Beskar spear battle, and then of course Mando bested him, and then as a result, now Mando is the rightful owner of the dark saber, which means he can legitimately rule Mandalore. So now he has that beef with Bo-Katan, because now he has a rightful place to take over Mandalore, even though he doesn't want to do that. He just wanted Grogu back. So basically, all the Dark Troopers that he released into space, they basically came back, and then man, the biggest moment in Star Wars history since Disney took over. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Rogue One. I'm not talking about Force Awakens. I'm not talking about The Last Jedi. I'm not talking about Rise of the Skywalker. The biggest moment in Disney Star Wars history, and I'm barring the Clone Wars season 7, because that's all part of George Lucas's vision, somewhat, because he created that show. But I'm talking about something that Disney Star Wars created itself, and that was the Mandalorian. Shouts out to Dave Filoni, um, John Favreau, and everybody who was part of this, because the most epic scene, like in my mind, like once they had the whole Ahsoka revealing that they had to reach out to a Jedi that they had to reach out to, because there's not a lot. The first person that popped in my head was was Luke, of course, because he's the biggest Jedi out there. He's the Grand Master. I mean, he's trying to build the Jedi Temple back. Obviously we know what happened in Last Jedi, obviously, and then maybe Mace Windu would have been that guy who rescued Baby Yoda from Order 66. Unfortunately, that wasn't revealed yet, so we don't know who saved Baby Yoda, at around that time. But man, just like in that episode when Slave One entered the scene, and you knew it was Boba Fett in there. You know that episode was gonna be serious. Once I saw that X-wing, I'm like, oh my gosh, man, yo, this gotta be him. This has to be Luke. So it flies by. Cara Dune, mockingly said, "Oh wow, an X-wing." I'm like, oh man, I'm getting emotional. I'm like, yo, this has to be Luke. This has to be Luke right here to the rescue. What we always wanted to see in the sequel trilogy. Want to see Luke in his glory, showing off his lightsaber ability, his force powers, because we never got to see that. Because you know what I mean. Like this, obviously, there was never, any other than the expanded universe and the legends. You never saw Luke in his glory in canon. So basically, once he popped up in the robe, you're like, oh, it has to be Luke. Then you see the green lightsaber. I'm like, okay, yo, this is definitely Luke. You know what I mean? I knew for a fact it was Luke. So then my next question in my mind was like, okay, is this really Mark Hamill? Is this will the big reveal be Mark Hamill CGI'd, or will it be Sebastian Stan? The Winter Soldier from the Marvel movies. So once we had that awesome battle, man, I mean it speaks for itself. I mean, Luke channeling his father, Anakin, and even I guess you could even say Darth Maul in the season finale against the clone troopers. Like it was a thing of beauty, because if Luke didn't come save the day, man, like it would have been a wrap for everybody. Mando, Bo-Katan, Cara Dune, it doesn't matter. Whoever it was, it would have been a wrap, because um Mando barely could have saved himself against one trooper, dark trooper. So it was just a thing of beauty. And then afterwards, after that epic battle between him and the dark troopers, I mean, it was not even a match. Like it was just poetry and emotion, man. One of the greatest moments I've ever seen in my life in Star Wars history. What I assumed was going to happen in the Last Jedi, but of course we all know what happened with that. And yeah, exactly the exact opposite of what we thought was going to happen in the Last Jedi happened. But you know, but that aside, man, this moment was phenomenal. And then afterwards, you had Luke meet up with Mando and Baby Yoda, and you had that touching scene with basically Baby Yoda asking Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, his father figure, to go with him. And to me, that reminded me of Anakin asking his mom to go with Qui-Gon to go on his path of a Jedi. And then afterwards, he was gonna before then, of course, go the Mandalorian was gonna say goodbye to him, and then you see Baby Yoda reaching out to him, trying to touch his face for him to reveal his, how he looks underneath it. And then the build up, of him removing the mask and having that moment, it was definitely paralleled Return of the Jedi with Luke seeing Darth Vader with his own eyes after he returned back to the light side as Anakin Skywalker after that epic scene at the end of the movie. So I mean, all in all, phenomenal. If I had to give this episode 0 to 10, at the very minimum, I would give this 11. I mean, it was off the charts. I mean, I know there was some people who kind of was criticizing the CGI of Mark Hamill being superimposed into the person who was speaking, but to me, it was like, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted Mark Hamill to reprise his role as Luke Skywalker, de-aged, So I mean, you get no arguments from me. I'm beyond thrilled that Mark Hamill was able to reprise his role as Luke Skywalker. I mean, his defining role. I mean, obviously, his second most defining role would be the Joker in the animated series of Batman. But obviously it was just great to see him back as Luke, especially when his expectation and most of the old school fans, the diehard fans of the George Lucas vision of the first six films being produced, seeing him in action, man, it was awesome. So I mean, credit to Lucasfilms for listening to the fans, getting it right, and showing us what we wanted to see all along in this sequel trilogy. And then afterwards, the end scene. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, R2D2. He interacted with Baby Yoda as well. Nice little scene seeing R2 interacting with Luke and of course R2D2. But the other surprise of the episode was in the post credits. So after the credits end, watch the whole thing. You're gonna see Boba Fett. He returns to Jabba's palace, and another surprise is Bib Fortuna. Jabba the Hutt's right hand man from Return of the Jedi. He somehow survives. I don't know how he survives, and he was just living that lifestyle, man. He was just living that lifestyle. He became a crook. Well, I mean, he was always a crook, but he just dived straight into that, man. So Fenric Shan freed the slave that was there, and basically Boba Fett had a reunion with Bib Fortuna that Bib Fortuna was not expecting, and basically shot him and literally took the throne. So the other big reveal is that there's going to be a Book of Boba Fett series coming out next year around this time, December of 2021. So that's another thing to look forward to. So I'm looking forward to that, the Ahsoka series, and I mean, Star Wars is Star Wars is alive again, man. It's back. So I'm just excited that Luke's back, and now we got to see what happens with Luke teaching Grogu, and how's Mando gonna deal with it, before, until they eventually reunite again. Maybe somewhere down the line in season 3 or even season 4. So I'm looking forward to it. And I know there's some people who's afraid that Grogu could have died because of the events of the Last Jedi. Oh, right, yeah. Well, Force Awakens, the sequel trilogy, basically, of Kylo Ren and you know I guess you know Snoke, aka Palpatine's clone or whatever. They destroyed the temple, and Grogu is. They think he's dead, but nah. I think Grogu is fine. He's not. He was in there at the time because there was like at least a 19-year period between the events here and the Force Awakens slash before Force Awakens when Kylo Ren turned to the dark side. So uh, Baby Grogu is fine for now. We just don't know what happened to him between what we saw in uh chapter chapter 18. I think it's chapter 8. No, wait. Oh, chapter 16. My fault, because each season is 8 episodes. So chapter 16, we don't know what happened after that, so we'll just hang on for the ride. So with that said, hope you guys like this video. Please feel free to share your thoughts, whether you like this episode or not, what you thought could have been better, how you felt, man. Just let me know how you feel, man, because this is what we needed, as Star Wars fans. We wanted to see Luke, you know, back in his glory, giving him that legend status that he deserved. And yeah, we'll talk more about this another time. So I'm Will. I'll see you guys next time. Please feel free to like, comment, share this video, hit that notification bell, and so you could be notified for future episodes like this. So I'm William Ramo. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. and may the force be with you.